Personal log, day 3. It's been 3 days since the last patrol went out. The killer was with him. He told me not to worry. He said it was just another run to the edge. Easy in, easy out, like always. He said he'd be back by now. The rain's been steady, the ground's soft, and the tents are damp. Air's cold, but like in a swampy way. It's not freezing, it's just wet. Everything just feels heavier. The glowing seed's still chewing up more than it gives back. Radiation, storms, terrain that shifts under your boots. Don't know how they even navigate it out there once they're in. Command, they've been pushing for more patrols lately. Feels like we're trying to find something that doesn't want to be found. The rest of us, we're holding steady. There's 7 of us. The receiving crew, help the teams in, move the gear, triage the wounded, and then we just wait again. Every few hours I stop and listen, hoping I'll hear the rotors cutting through the sky, or at least see the vertibird lights breaking through the fog. That sound always meant they were back. Still nothing. I keep thinking about what Keller said. He always comes back. I just hope this ain't the time he doesn't.
Welcome back, folks, to another Fallout 4 settlement tour. Today we're continuing to expand the lore of my Brotherhood character. As you can see, I'm a little bit more up-armored for this tour as we're way out in the field. We're actually in the southernmost part of the Commonwealth. This area may look familiar to some of y'all. Down the southern swamps here. This one's a bit tucked away. We're looking... It's essentially a forward outpost, but also a checkpoint for Brotherhood of Steel soldiers conducting missions within the glowing sea. So here we are at Somerville Place. And as you can see, it's well fortified. This one a little more so, with heavy barbed wire fencing. And of course, plenty of pikes. As you can see by the high voltage signs, this fence in particular is electrified. As always, is restricted to regular Commonwealth folk. So as we make our way through here, I wanted to give the impression that this is a front lines camp. This is the southern front lines of the Brotherhood campaign. This is the farthest south we've gone. And we had to make it particularly well fortified because it is literally right on the edge of the glowing sea. In fact, over the hill up there, is a death claw spawner, so gotta be ready for that. The theme I wanted to capture, I wanted to make it feel like a frontier camp, so not completely built up like some of my other locations. This garage right here, I like to imagine was already at the location before we showed up. To begin the tour, we're just gonna follow the road down here. It rains quite often down here as the default weather, and it just adds a very moody kind of ambience and atmosphere here. We have our heavy artillery ready to go at a moment's notice. And then because this is the last outpost, or the last checkpoint for soldiers going into the glowing sea, when they return from their mission, I imagine that after being dropped off by the Vertibird here, they immediately have to come into the Decontamination Center. It's more like a decontamination fenced off area. So decontamination, all returning from the glowing sea are required to come through here. So what you do, flip the switch right here. That activates the water pump. Turns on the lights as well as powers the decontamination archway here. Oh, there we go. So usually the soldier will stand in here and get decontaminated. And then I like to imagine that we also need to decontaminate the power armor. So the power armor, they'll have it stand in the center right here. Oh, jump right here. And then we use these devices as a way to hose it down. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the miniseries on HBO, Chernobyl. I kind of set this outpost up in a way how they set up their outposts right outside Chernobyl before they drove in to assess the damage. And then when they drove back with the truck and they spraying all the decontamination chemicals on it. So that was the style I was going for here. So they use these devices right here to spray the power armor or any other armor or maybe cargo that needs to be decontaminated. They'll also decontaminate all their hazmat suits. And then some radioactive residue or kind of seeps into the cracks here, growing some irradiated fungi. So then we'll come out here. Go ahead and turn the power off there. So we'll go back around and take a look at the Vertibird and then the garage over there. Make our way over here. Oh, we have that on an automatic pumping system. Actually, that is entirely intentional. Continuing, here we have the camp. Kind of kitchen cooking area, makeshift mess hall, as you can see. It's definitely a frontier style kitchen area. Open shelving. There's Kellogg's cornflakes. Everybody knows Kellogg. Plenty of nice ingredients and cooking utensils. One of our soldiers right here.
Long enough to witness the Brotherhood's next triumph.
Likewise. Looks like they've caught some type of fish or sea creature out there in the swamps. Plenty of purified water. And here's one of the camping areas for the soldiers. I really wanted to make this feel like a kind of a cozy, but maybe a little eerie vibe. It's cozy, but beyond the berm and the barbed wire pikes, anything could happen. Come over here, past some more tents. So we have right here, we have a makeshift workshop tent as well as a medical tent. So these are actually on a power system as well. I'm going to come back around. We'll check out the medical tent here. These are also hooked up to a water pump because there is a sink in the medical tent as well as the workshop tent. Go check that out. Here in the medical tent we have a couple different types of hospital beds. Well stocked with stim packs, extra blood. Pretty well stocked medical tent, especially for an outpost, the most forward outpost on the front line. And here's the sink right there. Oh, looks like someone just got a wound sutured. They better clean that rag soon. Can't leave it there too long. And then we'll come over here to the workshop tent, and this one's also on a power system as well. And then, like I said, the workshop tent is also hooked up to the water pump for the sink right here. Definitely not as advanced as our typical workshops, but for Frontline's frontier camp, we sure make do. It's like we have a knight rank armor there, and then one of our paladins' armors being repaired here. Oh, a welder, of course. Plenty of tools and moving back this way, it'll take us to sort of a makeshift pier, if you will. I used all kinds of different floors and railings and some wood and metal beams to make this look as rough and definitely thrown together as I could. Got a warning sign for some the red stag deer. While I was building this settlement, often there'd be a couple of red stag deer over by the that tree, or that dead tree over there. Looks like they aren't here today. And then also take note of the many turrets around here. I have a lot of custom turrets in the area. I prefer using turrets that are on a power system that need to be, have power drawn to them. I feel like that is a little bit more immersive, and they aren't quite as OP, with the exception of the Gauss rifle turret right here being from the advanced turret mod. That one is definitely extremely OP and doesn't require any power. Oh, looks like some of our soldiers went hunting for the dinner tonight. And plenty of pikes and barbed wire down here as well, just to protect from any Mirelurks that think they need to enter the camp. There have been quite a few Mirelurk King sightings down here, so can't be too careful. And we got a water purification machine right here. Got that up and running. Can't have too much purified water. Continuing this way, we're actually going to go past the central farmhouse here. I'm going to show you the rear of the camp. Travel up the pathway here. Has definitely seen better days. Hopefully they reinforce this a bit. I imagine it wasn't too stable when they found the place. Again, just like the pier down below, this place, or this pathway up here, it was cobbled together with any wood or beams they could find. Also made sure to lean them in all kinds of directions slightly, just to sell the ramshackle look. Up here we have the southernmost guard tower. This guard tower looks directly into the area where we border the glowing sea. So just over that hill is the glowing sea. And up here we also have a nice view of the entire camp. And plenty of heavy artillery, heavy turrets up here. We have a missile launcher turret there, and then another missile launcher. For these being vanilla turrets, these do a crazy amount of damage. They just rapid fire. It's quite insane. As we continue making our way down, here's one of our heavy gunner turrets. Oh man, I forget what that weapon is called, but it's from I believe it's the Machine Guns Rebirth mod. An excellent mod that adds in custom machine guns like that. Super well made. I believe one of our power armor soldiers right here has that gun. And continuing on the path behind the house, we have the settlement's power system. Like with all my settlements, I keep the power grid on the one generator. We have another beaten up ramshackle pathway leading up to this guard tower up here. This guard tower overlooks the bunker. A sentry bot is.
Heck of a job, Sentinel. Ad Victorium.
Oh, ad Victorium, sister. A sentry bot is usually spawned up there, and so keep that at bay. And then I believe it's Vault 81.
We may have
It's
liberated
just over the hill there,
but our job
where
is
the
far from
gunners are stationed. Continuing down once again. You'll notice the lack of lights here in the settlement. I opted to use candlelight and lanterns, not only to sell the fact that this is a frontier outpost, but I feel like if this place is super well lit, the soldiers would be easy targets for any enemies that are trying to snipe over the hills. And come back around here, around the decontamination area. Have another area for the tents. This is a nice cozy campfire. This one's a little higher elevation. That way with all the rain, it doesn't get too flooded, too muddy. Alright. So let's loop around back to this garage over here. So with the many platoons and squadrons conducting missions in the glowing sea, their missions mainly contain of sweep and retrieve any tech. I mean, we have the Sentinel site out there, and then all the military bunkers. They're just finding loads of different pre-war tech or maybe blueprints. So they repurpose this garage into a secure area where they bring back anything of use they find in the glowing sea. So right here we have, of course, the Liberty Prime bombs that you find in the Sentinel site. A lot of Enclave tech, it would seem. I have a couple mods that add some Enclave bunkers out there, and so they'd retrieve anything of use there. This is an Enclave beacon. And then a cache of plasma rifles right here. Able to locate some X-01 power armor. Looks like they found a living plant, which is unusual here in the Commonwealth. Especially to find one of those in the glowing sea. I can't imagine where they found that. Found a brain. I guess that could be useful. Some decommissioned robots right there. Some giant chests, some Enclave chests right here. Plasma grenades. Have some mini nukes, plenty of fusion cores. And then this beacon right here, this is alerting the Vertibird to come and pick up these supplies and move them back to the airport. And then while they're out there, oh, of course they found some Tommy guns. And while they were out there, they also were able to locate another head for Liberty Prime. Kind of unusual. And then on the other side here, we'll actually go through the other garage entrance. Just some more Liberty Prime bombs from the Sentinel site. Go ahead and close these up. We'll actually come around here. Just a sign marking the area. I also want to point out all the trash and debris to add detail around the settlement was placed by me. Just to break up the monotonous dirt texture and to sell that this place has been abandoned for a while. So all the road pieces even and any trash you see probably was placed by me. If we come up here, this gives us access to just a typical guard post up here on the roof. It's a good view of the north entrance. And then a good view of the east into the swampland area. coming back down. Got more trash. Oh, no trash to trash right here. More trash and debris right here. We have a refueling and oil tanker for refueling the vertibirds. Gotta have that on hand. Just in the rear of the garage here. They made sure to put plenty of sandbags and defenses just so a stray bullet from out yonder doesn't ignite the thing. And then this door leads back into the garage with the Liberty Prime bombs. And then here's our Vertibird landing pad. The berms and the sandbags to protect it. Let's make our way down there. So typically, the settlement, like I said, is usually lit up by these lanterns and candlelight, but of course you notice the street lights. I imagine when a squad comes back from the glowing sea and they've brought, you know, a large cache of weapons and technology, they flip on the lights just to light up the landing zone as well as the pathway leading up to the garage. This just gives them better lighting if they need to move a large amount of supplies, or perhaps if they bring back injured soldiers, then they need all the lighting they can get them to the medical tent. Looks like this vertibird is either leaving to take the supplies to the airport, or it had just returned from a mission in the glowing sea. Judging by the netting that's still around, looks like they found some mini nuke caches and just some more supplies that could be of use. Got some nets right here. And then once again the strobe lights and the red lights indicate the landing zone. Around here. Our pilots are quite skilled. These landing zones aren't particularly large, so they have to be skilled. Go ahead and turn off the lights for now. I like the ambience of having just the lanterns and the fire lighting the area. It's my favorite type of... These are some of my favorite types of builds. Just the frontier camps. Go ahead and turn these off as well. And then with those switches, that deactivates the water pump. That way it's not running all the time. So then that takes us over here to the Central Command area. Looks like these folks are convening for the night.
I still can't believe Dance was really a synth. Goddamn traitor.
Ooh.
It's a shame we lost Paladin.
I'm gonna let that one slide, soldier.
Hail, Sentinel.
They don't understand. Alright, so we have the Central Command area. We have plenty of terminals and maps to map out our missions in the glowing sea. These are from those Enclave bunker mods I was telling you about. I believe there's another one right here. I believe this is actually the capital wasteland from Fallout 3, but don't tell anyone. This is the Commonwealth map. What are you talking about? And then right here we have another map of the Commonwealth. So these all mark locations or settlements that I have built. So we'll be able to tour all these in the coming days. So we have Spectacle Island right there. And then the castle. Of course, the Boston Airport. The Mechanist Lair. And then that flag right there to the next to the ham radio is Croup Manor. This is Jamaica Plains. And then this one is our current location, Somerville. This is the Sentinel site out in the glowing sea. Here we have Diamond City. The Mass Fusion building right there. Cambridge Police Station. And then right up top is Sanctuary. So yeah, stay tuned for all these settlement builds. I'm really excited to show you all those. And we see that hologram table of the downtown Boston area. And this map is really cool. It has a bunch of these black and white photos and markings all over it to show people of interest. I imagine these could be Brotherhood of Steel allies, maybe people they can contact if they need weapons or information. And then we have surveillance system around here. There's the monitors for it. Some more surveillance devices. I actually forgot. These are all on a power system as well. I'll go ahead and flip the lights on. And then right here is the communication area. That way we can communicate with all of our outposts, the airport, as well as the squads out in the glowing sea. Here we are. And then we have the camp armory. Go ahead and flip the lights on in there. And then just like my other settlement, it's only accessible via key card. And then this is where we keep a very well stocked armory. Here are the artillery shells. And we have plenty of plasma laser rifles. Looks like we have a Gauss cannon right here. Shotgun, 50 caliber sniper rifle there. Plenty of fusion cores. A Gatling laser gun. Have our heavy gunners carry that. There's plenty of supplies. Oh, these guns are interesting. I couldn't tell you what kind of gun that is or what mod it came from, but definitely looks like some heavy firepower. And then this is actually a repurposed Enclave server console. So this is to store any data they collect from the glowing sea. Here's another very heavy minigun right there. That looks like might be an AK, I believe, with a drum mag and a silencer. No stock. That's quite the setup there. And a rack with plenty of shotguns here. Oh. And to leave the armory, we'll use the key card again. We'll go ahead and flip the lights off. And this is kind of cool. It's a topographical map of the Commonwealth. Soldiers.
Can't believe that Dr. Lee's returned to the Brotherhood. I thought she was a traitor.
Ooh, Dr. Lee. I have beef with Dr. Lee. So then that just leaves up here, we have the commanding officer's quarters. So I believe we have a paladin stationed here, so this would be where the paladin stays. Not very spacious, but it's quite cozy. Keeps you out of the rain as well. Have a couple clean uniforms right here. And then we like our booze around here in the Brotherhood, so a nice stock of the finest wine, it would seem. Nice smoking chair. Gotta have one of those. And then a Brotherhood of Steel themed bed, just in case they forget what faction they work for. Some extra ammo, and then some more personal belongings. My typical Brotherhood settlements, the soldiers don't have a lot of personal belongings, but I imagine since this settlement is so far out on the front lines, away from the main commanders, they can get away with a little more. Get away with collecting some more keepsakes. Let's go ahead and close the door here. And then just one more thing to show you. So we have the power system to light up the path to the garage over here, and then light up the landing pad. But we also have a spotlight system. Oh. There we are. And this activates all the spotlights surrounding the camp. Alright everyone, that concludes the tour for today. I appreciate you for stopping by. If you enjoyed the tour, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. More importantly, I'd love to hear your thoughts, or if you have any suggestions or feedback. Even if you have your own Fallout ideas or maybe other settlement ideas for the Brotherhood, I'd love to hear them. Go ahead and just leave them in the comments. I will. With the size of my channel right now, I'll respond to every single one I get. So, yeah, feel free to leave a comment, and I hope you all take care. Bye-bye.